Hello, here we are with Andreas Eriksson from Dwell in Doom. And
Yes.
so please introduce yourself and say, I mean, I just said who you are, so stupid.
Yeah.
Say who you are, what you're doing, and where you're coming from music-wise. So this would be interesting.
Yes. Yeah. Like you said, my name is Andreas, and I'm from Sweden. I'm the singer and guitarist and everything in my band, Dwell in Doom, which is I call it a band, but it's a solo project. And I have I've had a lot of different music projects through the years. So I haven't always made metal. I also made a lot of alternative rock music, acoustic rock, some electronic stuff also. So yeah, done a lot of things. And I don't know, should we go back to the beginning or?
Yeah, I mean, maybe what's the reason? I mean, I can think of one, but of course, it's up to you. Why did
Mhm.
you start it as a solo project?
I think I like to work alone
Okay.
for several reasons. I like to have full control of what I do because when I'm alone, I can do anything, you know. Um, and I think I had some other projects where I worked with other musicians, but it takes a lot of time, you know,
Hmm.
to get songs finished. Maybe you work for weeks, maybe months, just one or two songs. So because I like to work really fast.
Hmm.
But the quality is very important, that the quality is good, of course. But when I start working on an album, you know, it's really fast, you know.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm working alone.
So
Yeah.
just what does it mean fast? You know, I mean fast for some people it's like 2 hours. For some people it's like a week or something. I mean,
Yeah.
can you just tell me what it is fast?
Yeah, let's take some example. If we look at Dwell in Doom,
Hmm.
I started this project in 2019, and it's like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I started writing and recording, and now I've released 4 full-length albums
Wow.
already, and the fifth is on its way. Um,
Okay, well
so if
that's
you
really fast.
Yeah. So if you
Okay.
look at
Hmm.
if you look at how long does it take to make an album,
Hmm.
and I look back and I would say from scratch you start with nothing, then you start writing songs, you start recording, and then you release the album.
Hmm.
It takes about 6 to 7 months,
Hmm.
everything that. Then you have like 8, 10 songs, something like that. So that's what it takes from the beginning till the
Hmm.
album is released.
Wow,
Half a year.
it's yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite fast. And you know,
Yeah.
one thing sometimes okay, I have a few questions about the working alone thing. You know, I mean, I get it. You're
Mm.
very fast and efficient, and this is of course cool. And you also seem to not suffer from because sometimes when you work alone, you know, you
Mm.
hit a wall and kind of like, oh,
Mm.
what do I do
Mm.
now? Or you repeating yourself
Mm.
a lot, um,
Yes.
and then it's always, I guess, you know, you have worked in other bands or projects, then it's kind of fruitful to be with other people because then there comes this
Mm.
influence and then there
Mm.
comes this.
Yes.
You seem to have a lot of, you don't suffer from writer's block, obviously. Um, but okay, first question: how do you decide when you finish a song. I mean, when a song is finished, because when you are all on your own, and when I dabble with music myself a little bit, so it's ever, you always can add something, you can distract something, or it's too much, too little, or a new effect, or a second guitar, or a third or fifth or whatever. How do you get to the end point of a song?
Yeah, it's I write a little bit. I think it's usually not a problem because maybe I write a little bit differently from other musicians because I write and record at the same time.
Okay.
Because I'm not a band, and I'm just one person. So when I start writing a song, I program the drums. I start with just a simple beat, then I play the guitar, and at that point I start writing the chords, and the melodies, and sometimes the lyrics comes at the same time or not. So it's very organic writing. I didn't write like that in the past, but I think when you write this kind of music, you have to write that way. So I think the songs develops when you do that.
I think I get it, because you kind of let the song take control. You start with a basic idea, I guess, and then you see where it leads you, and then when you add what needs to be added, and okay, yeah, this is like I get it, the organic thing, because then it's kind of like okay. I know some artists who kind of limit themselves then, only, I don't know, 3 instruments or this and that, or, a week or something. And then, okay. But you seem to be very efficient and organic. One question I had also, because I know a lot of bands from Sweden. And now it will be very interesting. You don't have to tell me where you are, but I know 5 bands. Well, 5 bands from Gothenburg. You are not in Gothenburg, right? Gothenburg.
I'm in this town is called Halmstad.
Okay, good.
Halmstad, but it's close to Gothenburg. It's not far from Gothenburg, so.
Because for some reason, I mean, all the music I love comes from there. I mean, so you're also kind of getting into a direction.
Yes.
So cool, thank you. Because I found it so funny, because I mean, Sweden is a big country, right? I mean, it's not so densely populated, so you have some areas where there's more and where's less. But for some reason, I mean, I don't know. I hit 5 bands in Gothenburg.
In Gothenburg.
And I like to say Gothenburg, sorry. I got so used to it. I know it's Gothenburg, richtig? Or how is
Göteborg.
Gothenburg.
Göteborg. But Gothenburg, it sounds a little bit cooler, right?
It sounds, I love it. I love it. So cool. You already said that you did a lot of different things. So you are still doing this, and Dwell in Doom is just one project you're doing, or is it now that you focus all your attention on just Dwell in Doom?
Most of my attention is focused on Dwell in Doom, and it has been that since 2019 when I started the project. Before that, I had another music project called Boy in the Shadows. And I did a lot of albums with Boy in the Shadows, and that project was kind of more alternative rock, melancholic melodic rock, acoustic things, maybe some electronic things, but also a little bit heavier. It was a mixture of a lot of things, I think, and at the end of Boy in the Shadows, it's not the end really, but I started to make some heavier stuff, and then I realized I need a new project, so I can do just metal, you know, because Boy in the Shadows, it's not metal, but it's ongoing, and I actually released just 2 days ago. I released a new song with Boy in the Shadows, so it's an ongoing project, but yeah, I release a new song once in a while. So the main focus is on Dwelling Doom.
Okay. And so, I mean, for me, I love Gothic rock, and you know, so you get right into, you know, in my, I see it like I have a lot of bubbles. You know, I also like dark wave and electronic music, and I like alternative and stuff. But you know, my kind of the biggest bubble I love is Gothic rock. So, how did you come to this kind of music? So you know, I mean, can you lead me up? You know, you got inspired by these bands, or you saw a band. What brought you to my kind of music?
Yes, the darker, heavier stuff.
Yeah, to the dark
Yeah,
stuff.
I can take it from the beginning, because it's I haven't always listened to metal, or this kind of darker side of metal. It started with, we have a very famous band from my hometown, this town, Halmstad. They are called Roxette. You've heard them?
I know them, of course, na klar.
Yes.
Yes, Roxette. Look Sharp
Roxette,
was
yes.
the
Look
first
Sharp,
album.
yeah.
I mean, I'm old man. I know
Yes,
them.
I'm old too.
With Peer and Angela, what was her name? She's already passed, right?
Yeah, she passed away.
She's dead.
Marie.
Per
And
Maria.
we have Per, who's the singer. And Per actually lives not far from here, from where I live.
I see. Okay, say hi. Say hi from me.
Hi, Per.
He doesn't know me.
No, he doesn't know me either. Oh, but I think Roxette meant a lot to me. And like you said, Look Sharp came out in '88, and I discovered them in 1989. And I was just blown away when I heard that album, and especially the Look, the first track. And I think that band wanted me to, I mean, they inspired me to start writing my own music.
Okay.
So it all started with, you know, writing pop songs, and, you know, learn the structure, learn how to play guitar, to make melodies. And I think I learned that pretty fast, you know, the song structure with verse and chorus, how to build up and arrange a song. So I copied a lot from them, you know. But eventually I got into, you know, like when I was 15, 16 or something like that, got into more alternative rock, like Radiohead, U2, Suede, and especially a band from America, R.E.M, was a really, really big influence. And when I started to listen to R.E.M, my songwriting changed. I started to write lyrically, you know, differently. And I mean, I see R.E.M as a band with very melodic music, but also melancholic and a little bit dark sometimes. And Michael Stipe, the singer, and his lyrics are very, you know, mysterious, and he just play with words and phrases, and that inspired me so much, you know. So R.E.M was, and maybe is, a very important influence when it comes to songwriting. Yeah, got a lot of inspiration there. And when it comes to heavier music, you know, my friends at school, in high school, they listened a lot to Metallica. They had released the Black Album. It was Guns N' Roses, Twisted Sisters. I listened to maybe Alice Cooper and things like that. But a lot of Metallica and Guns N' Roses. But I never really liked it. But it wasn't until I think 1998 or something, when Metallica had released the Load and Reload. Not the most popular albums,
but not Sankt Anger.
No, right, yeah, the snare drum. No, but at that point, you know, Load and Reload was perfect for me. To start listen to a little bit heavier music, because they had the mixture of metal and rock. And so I got into those albums, and then of course eventually I started looking back. I bought Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All, which I think it's the best Metallica album. And of course the Black Album also. But I think the most important band, I think it was 98. I started to listen to them also. It was Type O Negative.
Oh, yeah.
And that was as like the same with Roxette and R.E.M. When I first heard Type O Negative, I heard Peter Steele's voice. It was like, what is this? You know, I've never heard anything like it. This, you know, dark, heavy music, very melodic, very atmospheric. You know, it wasn't hard, you know, it was very melodic, but heavy and dark, you know, and it was totally new to me. I heard some, I mean, goth bands like The Mission and Sisters of Mercy, but this was, it was just right for me. So that's when I really got into this gothic rock, gothic metal. And of course I started to dig into this, you know, and listen to all the Type O Negative albums, of course. And I got into, I think, what was it, Theatre Tragedy from Norway, and Paradise Lost. Of course, huge inspiration, Paradise Lost. And then I started to listen to, you know, symphonic metal bands, Nightwish, with Incantation. They were new. They started in the late 90s and they became bigger. So I discovered a lot of new music around those years, you know, and that have inspired me a lot. And it also that kind of music have inspired me, not just in Dwelling Doom, but Boy in the Shadows also. I found a mixture of these things. Yeah. So that's the road into metal music.
No, thank you. Yeah, I mean, this is. I mean, I see a lot of similarities here with because kind of the same for me. The starting point was Depeche Mode. You know, because I grew up behind the Iron Curtain, and for some reason, you could hear Depeche Mode in the East Germany, and so in the Russian zone, and so this is where I started, and then Cure, and then it became more heavy, and so yeah, I'm kind of following you, you know, what you just said, and Roxette, of course, I remember as well, because for me it was cool that Roxette was one of the bands. I don't know about Sweden, of course, but they were played in the radio, and they were not too poppy. I mean, they were kind of pop rock, you would say today, right? But it was still, oh man, it was heavy. It was a distorted guitar, and you know, they were rocking out, and you know. So and it was cool to hear this in the radio, because there was so little rocks stuff, you know. I mean, if you're lucky, they would play here Metallica, the slow one. Anyway,
Nothing else matters.
nothing else matters exactly. But this is the most they would do, you know, the top 40 radio stations, and so yeah, I remember it was like, oh yeah, this is on the radio. This is cool. So yeah, thank you. It was kind of for me. It was kind of going memory lane, you know, kind
Yes.
of following your thing. So it seems like you have done a lot of music already, and you're working so fast. But you have played in bands before, or did you just start as a solo musician right away?
I started as a solo musician right away. I have a few projects in high school and after that, but when I worked with other musicians, it's like, you know, I worked with one person at a time, you know, things like that. So yeah, not really a band. It would be cool to have a real band, of course, but I choose this path, I think.
No, it's fine. You know, I mean, this is you know, this is today. This is the cool stuff. Remember, as we grew up, I mean, there was always backing band members and stuff. You know, there were solo artists back then. But today, it's much easier to do it all on your own. You know,
Yes.
And you seem to do it quite well anyway, because most of the solo musicians I talk to, you know. No, it's not true what I wanted to say. I wanted to say, you know, sometimes they hit a wall or something, and inspiration-wise, or they kind of repeat themselves too much, or something like that. But see, there was another question I wanted to ask you earlier. You already said that it's organically with you when you finish a song, but are you ever unsure if it's a good enough song? You know, because if you're just yourself, do you have other people who listen to pre-recordings, or to, you know, I have this idea or something? How do you have somebody like this, you know, kind of to get you in check, that you're not just in your own little bubble and, you know, everything sounds great because it's my new stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, actually, not really. I decide everything, and
okay.
maybe because I want it that way.
Everything. I'm a dictator for life here.
Yeah, I'm a dictator, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I want it that way, and maybe my son, I think, could come with a little bit of comments. He's not living at home right now. He's 20 years old, so he moved now. But he could, you know, come with ideas and things like that. But mostly, I decide, you know, how I want it.
Okay.
Never ask for opinions. They come after the release.
Okay. No, that's fine. I mean, this is really good. Honestly, it's because a lot of people. Not a lot of people, but some people have more self-doubt. You know, it's kind of is it good enough? And I'm like, you know, I guess, you know, we are both a little bit older, and then it's kind of like, fuck it, you know, let's just do it the way I want to do it. And if you don't love it, don't listen to it. That's it, you know. And if you love it, good. But, you know, you're not, how you say, you're not pandering, or you're not going after trends or something. You just do what you want, and that's the best music you can make anyway.
Yeah.
What I was all the time thinking is, you did a lot of music, but you also did it all by yourself. Did you ever have any? Did you do it live also? I mean, did you present it to a live audience?
I've done a few gigs with the Boy in the Shadows project, but it's not really live. I sang to the recorded music, you know. It was sing back, I think it's called.
Yeah, playback.
Playback, and I did some live things where I played guitar and sang. I tried to put together a band a few times, but it's a hard thing, you know. it would be cool to play, of course, with Dwelling Doom, play with a full band and play live. But I think it's difficult to get musicians, and they have to play my song, my music, and put a lot of time and effort into that. But if maybe I haven't done so much efforts to put together a band. Of course, maybe I can do more. I know musicians, but they have to have time. In my age, they have families, and they,
No, I mean, you just said your son is moved out of the house. So I mean, this is not. I mean, they might kick out their children, and when you have time for you.
Now I have time.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah, because this is always. As I see it, the not a limiting factor, but a kind of not problematic, because especially with this kind of music, if you would do just electronic music, it's absolutely fine to just go on stage and click, and then you sing and whatever, Of course, it's always nicer to have some things what's going on and some live stuff you add, but it's kind of more accepted with more rock stuff or metal. It's a little bit weird if it's kind of all coming from tape. I mean, no, it's not tape, most likely.
Yeah.
But So, okay. Okay, let me just check. This was one of my questions, more like interview questions.
Yes.
Okay, this is a stupid interview question, and I promise kind of not to do it, but I'm doing it anyway, because I'm kind of almost through with my questions here. Gallows Hills.
Yeah.
Oh, where does this name come from?
Let's start from the beginning again. But it's come. Gallows Hill was released on Halloween, October 21st.
Very fitting.
Yes, and I started that kind of tradition with Dwelling Doom to release a song on Halloween. So it started in 2019. I released a song called Gothic Girl, and so I thought maybe I should release a song every Halloween, but it has to be connected with Halloween or with that time, things like that. So last year I wrote another song called October Sky, like epic 7-minute song with. And there I tried some different song structure. It was very long, and I tried to write a little bit differently from normal. And I think it may be a complex song, but it was easy. It came easy, the lyrics and things like that. But this year, I had no idea. Okay, I want to write a Halloween song, but what I had no ideas, writer's block.
So you have it. You have it too. You have it too. Okay, good.
I have it.
Good. You're a human being like everyone else. That's good to know. Because I thought as we started, that you are just a machine. I'm doing like every half a year I'm doing a new album, a full album, and then I do another full album. I'm just working. I'm a working horse.
Yeah. Yes. But this time I had no ideas. I started writing, phrases and things like that, but didn't came up with anything good. But then I started thinking about a place here in Halmstad, my hometown. There is a hill called, in Swedish you say Galjeberget, which means gallows mountain, but it's not really a mountain, it's more like a hill. So if you translate it, Gallows Hill. And then I remembered, that title, I've had that before, and it's such a good title. I think.
It is. No, it is. It
Gallows
is.
Hill.
It is.
Yeah. And there are more places in Sweden called Gallows Hill, and I think in other countries also in America. And okay, I want to write a song with that title, and it refers to this place here in Halmstad was when they hang people 100 years ago. Now it's a totally different place. But I took some inspiration from the history and put it into a song. And then it came very easily when I had a title.
I see.
And
okay.
And last year I released this long epic song. Now I wanted something shorter, faster. So that was, the
more radio friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is sometimes I'm a radio DJ as well, and so I try to be as inclusive as possible. But especially these stoner bands or something. I like stoner rock. It's cool music. But sometimes they send me songs like 10 minutes long, and then it's really tough for me because I have only an hour per week, and then it's kind of like not much else to do. If I play 3 of these songs, then then I'm almost done. Of course not, but anyway. So thank you. I appreciate thinking of. I mean, we could maybe talk about. Yeah, maybe that's an idea. Let's talk about this. So you already kind of got into the release strategy that you release something each Halloween. What is your usual? Do you have any release schematic or like a scheme where you I'm doing this 3 singles and then comes the album, or how do you do it, and how do you decide? Because I saw some of your videos. How do you decide what it's video worthy and what not? So how do you go about that?
I always release singles before an album, and as you've seen with Gallows Hill, it started now. It's the first single from the upcoming album. And I try to release maybe 2 singles before the album. This time I think it's going to be 3 singles because there's going to be more songs on the album.
Okay.
Like 11 songs or something. Singles and I try to mixture because Gallows Hill it's a short, it's a faster song. But then I released, just a week ago, I released a song called Eternal Storm. And that was also a 7-minute song, but for the first time I use orchestral elements. So it's like violins and trumpets and choirs and things like that, very huge arrangement on that song. And so it's just another type, totally different song, So try to find some different singles, before the album. And
Okay. I also wanted to ask you about your singing style, because you have clean vocals and you have also kind of this, for me, I'm not really familiar with that, like black metal vocals, where you have more like this screamy. It's not growling really. It's something else. So how does this come? Because this, you mentioned Typo Negative. And I mean, sometimes he screams, Peter Steele, but usually it's clear vocals, or Paradise Lost. I mean, they started really like, really bad
Absolutely.
stuff with Lost Paradise. Man, and then they came to pop and back and whatever. So, but anyway, my point is, most of the bands you mentioned, they have more clean vocals. And this is for me kind of black metal inspired. Where does your singing style come from?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, and I think you will be surprised when I say that I didn't like growling vocals.
Okay.
Just maybe a few years ago. I not maybe 5, 6 years ago. I'm not sure, but it took me some time to start listening to that kind of music. But
Hmm.
yeah, of course, if you listen to old theater tragedy, there's growling vocals. But I never really liked it, you know.
Yeah, me neither.
No,
I'm not really into that.
no. So it took a very long time before until I liked it,
Hmm.
and I think it started with like you said, Paradise Lost. They started really, growling from the beginning. Then they became it sounded like Depeche Mode
Hmm.
in
Yeah, we kind of had like a
late
big.
'90s, and
Yeah,
then yeah,
I like it. You know, we kind of
yeah,
we don't
yes,
limit themselves. That's really cool as an artist. But
yeah, it is.
yeah, I mean, we started out as a really crawling band. I mean, if you
Yes,
hear
yes,
this is
yes.
kind of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
how you call it? I forgot. Grindcore almost. You know, I mean, kind of like
Yes.
really tough stuff.
Yes, yes. And then Paradise Lost, they started to get more heavier
Hmm.
around 2009. And they did some heavier stuff, and he started growling again, Nick Holmes. And
Hmm.
I said, "Oh, I'm not sure if I like this anymore."
Hmm. Hmm.
But eventually, I like Paradise Lost, and they have
Hmm.
great songs. I have to listen to this, And then I started to listen to Amorphis, another
Hmm.
great band from
Yep.
Finland. They use a lot of growling, and I mean, his voice is just amazing, amazing growling. So I just got into it, and started to like it. Um, but I don't really have that capacity, I think, when it comes to growling.
Hmm.
So it was when I heard the latest album by Satyricon,
Okay.
Deep Calleth Upon Deep. And I think he uses his voice. I just like the way he sings, I can hear what he sings,
Hmm.
but it's not that really, I don't know how to describe it. I just got so inspired by that. And I started to look back on old Satyricon albums. I started to look back, at black metal, which
Hmm.
I hadn't listened to that much because I couldn't find the melodies. I couldn't find
Yeah.
what is good with black metal. I like melody. I love melodies,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
melodies.
It's funny. Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it's a good point.
yeah.
You couldn't find what's good with black metal. Okay.
No, so and I will give it a chance. So I
Hmm.
started to listen to Satyricon, Dark Throne, Bathory, things like that, and just took some inspiration from that. Um, and yeah, and then I took that and I started to sing like that because my voice, I think my voice is kind of soft and a little bit
Hmm.
weak.
Hmm.
I can't really, when I sing, normal with a clean voice,
Hmm.
I don't really have that power.
Hmm.
So I think my music is good when I have acoustic music, acoustic guitars, a little bit softer arrangements. So I had to do something. And then I, use this kind of growling voice just
Hmm.
to make it
Hmm.
more powerful. And I think I'm happy with that.
Hmm.
And then I try to mix this growling voice with my clean vocals, a brighter vocals, and then I have these a little bit darker vocals,
Hmm.
but clean,
Hmm.
like more like Peter Steele style. And then I have the brighter style also. So it's kind of three different vocal styles
Hmm. No,
that I
it's
use.
this is kind of like you. I really have hard time. I like death metal, for example, but I really don't like the growling. I like the music, but I don't. For me, it was always like you mentioned Metallica, and I was like, okay, they do thrash metal and they play really heavy and fast, but they sing normal. And why can not all the death metal? I mean, I know it's a style and whatever, but for me, I always have the problem that it becomes too formulaic, that it's kind of like it has to be this way, otherwise it's not the right kind of stuff. And I hate this, because when, we talked about Paradise Lost, where we kind of went from everywhere to everywhere. And and this is that's why I liked your stuff, because it was a fresh take on it, I'm not, I don't like this kind of particular, how you did the vocal, I mean the more screamy ones, but it works because, okay, I have another thought in my head. Sometimes you have young bands who just cannot sing, and then for them it's and it's like, okay, I got it. You cannot sing, and you don't want to pay anything for a vocal coach and whatever. So just and this is but with you, I could clearly see you can sing. There is something, and you use it as a tool, and I think I would accept it also easier in other death metal music if they could kind of show me that they can sing and then just use it to wrap things up. But for me, how should I say, it's like with punk, if you always play really fast and whatever, then it's not, it doesn't hit you anymore. And if you always growl, then it doesn't hit you anymore as well, because then it's kind of like just one of the things, when I don't know how to describe it, but I guess you get my point, if you have ketchup with everything, then everything tastes like ketchup, it's kind of like, I don't know.
Absolutely.
And so I kind of hate that these guys, the death metal scene, they need to be like this, otherwise they are not true death metal anymore. And then it's kind of like, oh, okay, I don't like boundaries. The cool thing, and I guess we both agree on this, is music is absolute freedom. And today, where you have to, you have to go to work and do this, and you have to do this and that, you have your family, you have to pay your taxes and whatever. But one of the very few things where you can be absolutely free and there is no wrong or right is the way you make your music. And so, and just kind of getting into the brackets, and it needs to be like this, otherwise it's not correct. Who says? I mean, if everyone would always do the same, then we would still do blues or whatever, I mean, there would be no metal and stuff. And anyway, I can clearly, hear from all what you're saying that you're not stuck in this paradigm, or that kind of, it needs to be like this. You found your style, and I highly appreciate it. I just wanted to know it because you are actually, for my program and my playlist, you're a little oddity, because I rarely have growling or this distorted vocals in my playlist, because I don't like it. And so you got into it.
Ooh, yeah.
You're something special. So no, I just wanted to because I don't get it. I don't mind if you use it as a tool to kind of underline a point, if you're like, and then I kind of hit her really hard, and then you kind of like, but if you're always angry and always, then it's kind of, it loses its strength. The power is gone, because then it's kind of always like, I guess, you got my point. If you always drive 200 miles per hour, you don't know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Well, anyway, you got my. I cannot.
I get your point. Yeah.
So no, that's cool. I like that that you found your own style.
Yeah.
Cool. So I have one more question, but if you want to talk about something, I hand it over to you because I told you this is a free conversation. If you want to talk about something, now's the time. Or shut up.
Now is the time. I don't know. What should I talk about? We've gone through the history. We've gone through, the present time. Maybe the future.
What's you got a new album? So wait. I give you a nice question. What inspired you to? No, I'm not totally going to do it. No.
What I have in the background inspired me.
Okay,
exactly. The winter and the darkness.
Exactly. Winter and darkness, exactly. No, but yeah, maybe talk about your new album, or maybe also that's maybe a better question. I mean, we can talk about both, of course. What do you have any specific goal? You know, I mean, I'm pretty sure you have a normal job and you know this is your hobby and stuff. What is kind of like, what would you like to achieve? Is this I mean, we're in it for the fun, you know. I'm doing this because it's my hobby, and I like to get to know people, and you're in it to you know, to kind of express yourself. But is there any goal you're trying to achieve? Anything specific?
You know, I have a day job, a normal job. So I do it on my free time. And of course, I've had a dream to do this full time, of course. But I think it's now I'm not that young, you know, I'm not in my 20s. And I think you see it in a different way. I want to be famous. I want to succeed. Of course, it would be great to work with this for full time, but I'm not sure if it's gonna happen. You know, it's not. I do this because I want to do it. I think that's the main thing. If I succeeded, it would be awesome. But it all starts with I want to do this. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it at all. You know.
No, I get it. I get it. It's your passion, and
it is.
And I can I can tell you, I talked with some bigger names in the business, and it's really tough to be, you know, to get really into it and to stay on top, basically. One guy said it very nicely because he's famous, and he said he could go without the fame. The money would be nice, but the fame he doesn't really need. You know, so it's okay. No, I get it. I get it. It's just a nice kind of expressing yourself. So let's dream on a little bit. And which with which bands would you like to go on a tour or something? What would be your picks for now, if you can choose whoever you want to go on with tour?
Wow, that's interesting.
Pick three, just three. You know, that's not too many.
Could it? Does it have to be someone alive or?
Okay. Now let's.
Okay.
You can resurrect corpses. Okay.
Okay. Then my first choice would probably be Type O Negative.
I thought so.
And Type O Negative, and I think Paradise Lost. Third, I would like to, because I did an interview last weekend, and I got the question, who do you want to do a duet with?
Oh, okay.
Or a duet or something. Yeah, work together with.
A collaboration.
And then collaboration, yes,
Mm.
exactly. And I said Michael Stipe in R.E.M, the singer. So if R.E.M was active now, I would. They quit in 2011, but I would pick R.E.M or just do something with Michael Stipe on tour, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah. That's actually, you know, I was just researching R.E.M a little bit lately because I do a YouTube series where I do recommendations about songs, you know, which I think they are good. And so I was looking into some R.E.M. I mean, they have a lot of good songs, you know, and I didn't want to take the most famous ones. So I was searching for one, but I couldn't find it because I didn't know how it was called. And so I realized, man, it was a little bit weird that such a band was so famous because they were so, you know, melancholic and sad and absolutely not poppy and stuff. I mean, you know, the one song, the Shiny Little Happy People song.
Shiny Happy People, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Where we sang with a B-52 singer. And I also like the B-52s, but you know, this was their most happy song, and all the other songs are, even as we got into more this garage rock thing here, What's the Frequency, Kenneth, and you know, everything was so sad and melancholic, and they were so big. I don't get it. You know, they're kind of very counterintuitive rock stars. I think I read once that they were kind of pushed by the college radios, which played them a lot and stuff.
That's right.
But I'm still kind of surprised by today. If you see the music today, and maybe that's the topic we can also talk about. It's kind of like you see this bubblegum pop and you know the okay, we can take openly the senseless, stupid stuff, you know, and you know the TikTok infested fluff, the nothingness, and then you have R.E.M. It's kind of wow. That's two different worlds, kind of, and Anyway, so. It's just what I realized. I didn't found the song. Maybe you can help me. It was there was a video for it where the guitar player got sprayed with water and it was a very slow song.
It's was it black and white, the video?
Yeah, I think it was black and white. Yeah,
I think it's Drive.
Drive. Okay, I will check it out.
Drive. It's from Automatic for the People.
Drive.
Because it's a black and white video, and I think that's water in that song.
And they were kind of. I think if we were in a crowd surfing or something, or
it's Drive. It's Drive.
Okay, Drive. Thank you. When I can do my next recommendation, because this song is really great, but it got a little bit underappreciated, you know, because there was, you know, the big hits and stuff, and I think this one is a really good song. I just couldn't remember because we have, you know, I tried to listen through all, but I just there was so much. So I couldn't go through. I couldn't go through. Yeah.
No.
Okay,
Drive.
Thank you very much.
For the people. Yeah.
Thank you very much for you made my homework.
Great.
What? Okay. Which of your? I mean, did you ever see? I mean, you're a little bit older, so you could have seen Typo Negative live, or what was the biggest you know, of your idols you saw live once?
This is horrible, but I never saw Typo Negative, and I regret it so much. because they were in
Gothenburg.
I don't. Yeah, they were in Malmö.
Okay.
Malmö in
Malmö.
Swedish.
Malmö.
Malmö. Yeah.
Malmö. How do you say it? How do you say it?
Malmö.
Malmö.
Yes, that's good.
Malmö.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
in my dialect.
Okay, I see.
Good one. Yeah. Yeah, they played there in the beginning of 2000, something like that. And for some reason, I didn't go there. I can't remember why. Maybe I couldn't. Maybe I was sick. I'm not sure. So I never saw them live, and it's horrible. But I've seen Theatre Tragedy like in 2000, I think, 2001 maybe, and I've seen Paradise Lost several times.
Cool.
And I've seen R.E.M. also.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there are more bands, but I can't remember. But I've seen Nightwish also. It's one of my favorite bands. With Tarja as the singer. But something I really was great, or what I say, surprise. It was when I saw Paradise Lost in 2003, I think. And they were playing in Malmö. And the first support band, I think they had two support bands. The first, I can't remember the first, but the second band was Within Temptation.
Oh, wow.
And Within Temptation were not famous, of course, because they were supporting band. And when they started to play, I was like, what is this? This is so great, you know? And but she had problems with her vocals. So they started the first song, and it was hard for her to sing, and she had problem between the first and the second song. Then everything just worked, her voice and everything. It was such a great gig, you know, and so surprising, you know. And then you look ahead a few years, 2-3 years, and then they were really big, playing on MTV and things like, wow, you know, they became this big, you know. So that was a great time. And then you had Paradise Lost after that, you know. What a great
that's great. That's great.
concert. Yeah.
Yeah, Within Temptation, they dominated for a while on MTV, right? I did a recommendation for here. What was their hit? For one of their songs, anyway, and the video was really of its time, you know. It's kind of very silly if you look back, you know. There is this green screen video. It was looking cool back then, but today it's kind of like you do it in your living room, and you know, it looks better. So it was Ice Queen. It was Ice Queen.
Ice Queen, yes.
The big hit. Yeah. And it was playing everywhere. I remember I was at IKEA.
Yeah.
You might know IKEA, I don't know.
Yes, I know IKEA. Yeah.
At an IKEA store, and it was playing there on the monitors and stuff. So it was like you couldn't escape it, you know. But it was cool, and it was really, you know, I loved it. I mean, I still love it, and so it's in my recommendation list.
It's a great song.
Yeah, it is, and it's a great band, and they're from the Netherlands, right? Yeah,
the Netherlands. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, yeah. So, so haben wir das. So I'm actually through with my questions. What is the next video we can get from you? Because you said you have 3 singles, so one is out already.
Yeah. Yes. I will release one more song Don't know if it's gonna be a video for that. We'll see. But I think I will release it in January, which will be the third single. And the album, I'm not sure when it will be out. It's, I have 11 songs, and they are done. It's all done, but I don't have a title for the album.
Ah, I see. Because I was like, what's your problem?
What's my problem now? I can't. Sometimes it's very hard with album titles. You have to what connect these songs. Is there a connection between these 11 songs, or are they just 11 separate songs? Is there a theme? And I'm thinking about this. I think there is a theme through the songs, but I'm not really sure. And if I don't have a title, I don't have an album cover either.
Yep.
Or maybe I find the right picture and an album
this is
title
actually,
will come up. I'm
this
not
is
sure.
actually very important. Good that you mention it, because for me, as a radio DJ, the first thing I see with a new song is the cover. And if you use a cover which is just where I can see, okay, somebody photoshopped something or really bad picture or whatever. I mean, it can have value as well. Don't get it wrong, but usually you can see somebody put some effort into the cover or not. And then I'm already more inclined to listen to it. And if I see the cover, I don't, I usually give it a fair listening. But if I'm on time constraint and I see a bad cover, I might skip it. So that's actually a good point. Take your time, and this is
But you're right. I think the cover is for me, it's very important. I can use pictures that are, taken by other photographers. Sometimes I use my own material. So it's a mixture, but there is always some in the style, in the design. I want the singles and the album to have some similar designs.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
When you look at these first singles, when you look at Gallows Hill and you look at Eternal Storm, which is the latest single, you see that the title is in the same place, and you try to design it in the same way.
Let me just bring it up here. I got you here. Cruel in Doom, Eternal Storm. Ah, yeah, I see.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
And the pictures, these are, I don't know where I got the idea, but I wanted something old. And then I started thinking about where I want some copyright-free pictures that are really, really old. And then I found a page from the British Library. They have uploaded, I think, 1 million pictures that are copyright-free, books and paintings or whatever. So I started looking through that. Maybe I could find something, and it started with Gallows Hill, and I started, typing words like death and gallows and things like that. And I went through a lot of pictures, and then I found that picture, and it was just perfect.
Yeah, I see.
Those skeletons hanging there in the trees in the forest, that is perfect. I have to have that picture. And at the same with the Eternal Storm, also from the British Library. But I'm not sure. And then I have another single. It's already done, that cover, also from British Library. But the album cover, I'm not sure, because I don't have a title. And
I see. You don't know what to look for.
Yeah, what should I look for? But I have an idea of. Do you have an idea?
No, because see, this is exactly what I meant in the beginning of our talk. That sometimes the problem is when you're a solo artist that you kind of have trouble. Usually when you talk with somebody, when it's like, oh yeah, I like this song, and oh, this could be, and blah blah blah, blah. And then things just happen because you kind of have a conversation together, and that's why I was kind of like, see,
yes,
this is the problem.
You're right.
As a soul, I mean, it's a luxury problem, I mean, you're already done all the work, but take your time, this is all I can say. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, you're thinking of it, and yourself sometimes, if you have it in the back of your head, and then you see something, and oh yeah, and then it will just be, this is the thing, and for now I can see, from my feeling, what I saw in your catalog is it would be, I would go for some red, some big color thing, because like Bosch, the apocalyptic things of Bosch or something, because this would stand out from your usual covers, because now everything is black and white, and it has it has aesthetics, and I get the point, but now I would kind of use that everything is a little bit pale, and then hit you with, I see red, some reddish stuff, and it doesn't need to be Hell or Dante or whatever, but you get my point. You can kind of you can kind of, sometimes when you mute all the colors, then one is really outstanding. Remember Schindler's List? I guess you have seen the movie.
I've seen it.
And there was this child with a red thing, and just this is kind of just a little thing. And this is how your catalog looks right now, and then you have something boof. But of course, you need to be happy with it. I mean, just think about it. Could also be, remember Typo Negative with her green. I liked the Typo Negative green stuff. This could be also something. Just some color. It doesn't need to be red or green. Just think about something. But yeah, I could, or some rust brown reddish things, that it's like a I don't know, like a coffin from a guy who was buried in a war, and it's rusting through, and you see the skeleton, I don't know, the skeleton. See, this is what you're missing usually, because you don't have somebody to spitball with, to kind of think about things. And I'm just like, giving you ideas, and you are, of course, the boss. And but yeah, this is what I see right now, because it would kind of stand out.
Yes. Great ideas. I will.
That's what I'm here for.
Write them down and think about it. No, it's good. It's good with that color, something red, and I would prefer red. I've used it in. I made a few short trailers before I release a song, and I've used red.
Okay, then it
comes
would be
like
perfectly...
Dwelling Doom in red. So it's the right color, and I have an idea to make. I want my son to do the album cover. He's amazing at drawing. He can draw with pen and paper. He can draw on his computer. Very good at animation, things like that. So I think he's made, for Boy in the Shadows, he's made 2 covers.
Okay.
And I remember, maybe I can, maybe you don't see it. Maybe we can move a little bit here. This is, I don't know if you see it, but this is called Northern Warrior. It was for Boy in the Shadows. And that's, a man. Looks like a warrior who's been out in the war, and his face is just wrinkled and things like that. And when I saw that picture, I want that on a cover. I want that to be a cover. I was just, wow, what a picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then the title came up, Northern Warrior. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay, cool. No, but yeah, like I said, and I'm happy that you see it also as so important, because it's you know, it's kind. I mean, if you want to say it badly, it's advertising your music, but it's also it gives your music a face, you know, some a personality, you know, and yeah. Anyway, I think it's very important. Okay, cool.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I'm at the end, and it seems
Yes.
like I kind of inspired you a little bit, and this is
Absolutely.
cool.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Oh,
So
yeah.
please keep in touch. You know how to find me and where to find me,
Yes.
and I know there's more music coming up, so hit me up.
Yes. Absolutely.
And yeah, thank you for your time. It was
Yes.
very
Thank you for
nice.
having me.
Yeah,
It was
no,
very.
my pleasure. My
Yeah.
pleasure. Thank you
Yeah.
for reaching out.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I'm. I told you I'm a little bit lazy lately because I have two radio shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much. I wish you all the best, and yeah, don't forget me. I wanna
No.
hear. I wanna hear more.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Blood
You will.
red.
Blood red.
Exactly. Bye bye.
Yes. Bye bye.